All right, waiting for this bus to come. That's a few words that you're not going to hear me say too much longer. I was at the store. Before I walked into the store where I saw Derek Williams, I saw a lot nearby, and it had a nice little van around like $4,000. So it shouldn't take long if I hustle, it shouldn't take me long to raise that much money. Plus the insurance and the maintenance for the car, for the vehicle, shouldn't take rather long. But I want to say this. I'm glad I'm back in my faith. Let me just say this. With the exception, we'll say with my near-death experience, my first two ones, the first near-death experience, I still didn't really feel the spirit. I just was scared of death. The second one, I definitely felt the spirit, but I was just scared of death. And I felt that was a sign to change my ways, but I still had a little bit of bitterness in my heart, just from the fact that, like the white paramedic that was in the truck with me, he almost let me die, and I had a little bit of it's going down day by day. Hold on. Yeah, it's slowly going down. Like let me just say this: I'm aware of race and race relations, but I can't confidently say that I have real hatred in my heart. That I have to day by day let a lot of that go. But yeah, I did have a hatred for whites at one point. Y'all saw it on my channel. Y'all saw like all the videos I have on here. I've never taken any of them down, but I was really bitter about that. And it's a process, guys, but let me go. It's a process. Nothing happens overnight. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm back following my faith, because I don't really know how to conduct myself without religion in my life. But I will say this: I can't see myself following anything else. I can't, because for some reason it just doesn't feel right to me. I don't like, if I was a Muslim, I wouldn't feel a spirit like I do now. Honestly, I don't even know where I would end up at if I was a Muslim or a Buddhist or following Hinduism. And you can believe in what you want to believe in, but I don't think that they're really authentic religions at the end of the day. And it's like, I will put it in the same category. It's like if the conversation came up where there was like a gay pastor, right? Because there are gay pastors out there. There are gay priests out there. Don't have no hatred in my heart for them, but they're not really showing their congregation discipline, avoiding temptation, standing on morals and fear of God. They're not showing that to the congregation if they're just indulging in their temptation, Guys, I think I should walk down the street. I always question this too. I always question, what do people do where they lose their mind, where they go crazy? And let me just say this. It's like, let me say this. If I look like a bum, I look unkept, yeah, people are going to treat me the same way. Okay, I did walk away from where I was standing, because it's like I said, this is not like a great area. I didn't grow up around here. I'm not far away from where I'm at, but it's like this is not like the best area. But it's like I have faith, but I also have common sense too. I'm not going to stand somewhere someone looks crazy, because this is the thing. You could have problems. I'm the last person to call somebody crazy, but it's my thing is, I don't like the type that don't have nothing to lose. They don't care if they go to jail. They don't care if they catch a murder. That's the type I can't be around. Because some people that watch me, we suffer from childhood trauma. That's classified as mental illness. But you guys that watch me, I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to fly to Philadelphia and blow my excuse me, that's my language, but I know y'all don't want to y'all don't want to come down here and blow my brains out. So that's a distinction. That's a distinction right there. He's like, why you put me on camera? But now I've lost my train of thought of what I was going to say. But I feel good, and I wanted to see where I'm going to be in 4 years from now. Because guys, I wasn't living the right way. I wasn't. But I want to dedicate the rest of my life to living the right way. And I'm hoping some of my videos I could reach some LGBT people on leaving that gay spirit behind. No pun intended either, but see, a lot of these pastors, whether they be in the closet or whatever, you guys, your approach scares them away from wanting to change. Because I know a lot of us, and when I'm talking about, and you need to listen to this part, a lot of us that are 30 and maybe younger, everybody mostly that was born, that was like in high school or junior high during the Barack Obama era, where when I was coming up in high school, we were reaching, so 2010 was the formative era of the gay movement, where it had a political backing. It was considered like a group instead of just a lifestyle. It was more of a, hey, don't talk about these people, you'll offend them. But during that age, like 15 years ago, I'm 30 now, we were all dealing with our same sex. If you had just a gay thought in your head, you felt like it wasn't a problem because Obama made it normal. And what I'm saying, don't think that is not normal, because everybody feels that way. Everybody has a fantasy of another of the same sex. But with Obama being president, I felt like everybody that had some gay thought emerge in their mind, they felt like they were just gay and they went along with it. And it's like that energy never left. Like here's the thing. So during 2010 to about 2013, it was all about, like, this is during his presidency, it was all about gays coming out, gays and lesbians. And then 2015, about the end of his presidency, it was about gender, transgender, non-binary. And then that's when you had the letters of the alphabet expand to QRSTUV plus plus plus. That was the end of his presidency. And it's like, I understand people really feel that way. Some people really do. And they can't control it. But understand, it's a spirit that you have to fight. You don't want it to control you, because if everybody had that spirit, we would die off as a human race. We will die. We will become extinct. And understand as well, like, see, I always came from the side of love is love, but not all sex is safe. Understand, some people need to get drugged up just to have sex. I don't think it's really healthy to engage in anal sex. Like I'm done with it completely, but I don't think it's safe to do it, engage in it ever so often, because over time I don't think it's good for your I don't think it's good at all, honestly. I don't really advise people to engage in it whatsoever. My theories are food and drugs play a role in it. That's the only thing I'll say that's a little unnatural, is the whole anal sex, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. I feel like everything after that, you're kind of like a deviant. But a lot of us right now, like, there are a lot of people that have come out as trans, and their health has declined taking hormones. They regret having surgery done. Watch a video of a detransitioner. Watch a video of someone that's coming out of a gay lifestyle. And see, I came out, I feel unscathed because I don't have HIV. You know, I don't have nothing going on that's where I have to take medication for life. So I feel like I came out unscathed, but not everybody was lucky. And me, I was always cautious of HIV, because that's the first thing. I don't like really talk about my dad, but when I came out to him when I was like 16, you know, the first thing he said to me, the second time I tried to come out, the first thing he said was AIDS. And everybody I was with, I always told them I'm not down with anything unprotected, because I don't want to catch anything. Now, there was times when I slipped up. I don't want to get all graphic into sex. I never had like unprotected like intercourse. I don't want to really go into detail, but yeah, that's the one thing I was never cool with, because I didn't want nothing. I didn't want to catch anything. But during the Obama years as president, a lot of people that are my age now, we were told a lie. There's nothing wrong with being who you are, but you should not make a decision at 15 and go along with it for the rest of your life. You cannot really decide your sexuality. You don't really have a clear understanding of it at 15. Because I'm talking about now. I maybe if I wait 13 years, because that's how much I lived in sin. If I wait 13 years, I'm considering getting married one day or having kids. But I want to wait out, because I have a lot of emotional issues I'm trying to work out, and I want to get my life in order, and I'm going to get there. And that's all I care about at the moment. But and here's something else I want to emphasize too. Some people may say that if you marry a woman, you're probably going to be miserable because you're gay and you're just in denial about it. Well, let me tell you this. When I lived that life, I was never truly happy. And this is cliche as it sounds. You're never going to be happy because you deal with people that cheat on you, that may have numerous partners that they're also dealing with. You deal with people that lie. You deal with people that have STDs and they don't say anything about it. You may encounter borderline pedophiles that try to, even though you're a legal age, they prey on to you. I was never truly happy at all. If anything, during my last year, like living that way, I was more critical than anything. And it seemed like everybody I came in contact with, they had some kind of story of how they were molested or raped. And this is the thing people don't want to talk about. See, there is a expiration date for being a homosexual or bisexual in a lot of cases. I'm not attracted to men at all. And I'm comfortable, my physical being, like having being a male, I'm comfortable being that. But I feel a lot of people change their sex because they understand that when you hit over a certain age, like 30, like my age now, no one is interested in you because you're getting older. You look more like a male versus someone younger. This is when I said Joy Reid wasn't wrong. I feel a lot of people become trans because they understand that there is it's like a shelf life for being homosexual. And when you exceed past the age of 30, you don't have a lot of options unless you really alter your appearance, where you get your facial hair, like you get laser hair removal, you have wrinkles removed off your face, your hair, you get your hair plugs. Nobody wants a man unless you're trans yourself and you're trying to play that role of a woman, I guess. But I was never really happy. I was never really happy at all, because most of my relationships were all about sex. Even the person I was with, I never really told you guys this, but she asked me the last time we were together, I think it was the last day when our separates. She asked me, what is it that you like about me? Now, it's been almost over a year. I'm over it now, of course. But I was saying things that I like. And this is not like a case of like, now that it didn't work out, I'm trying to talk mess. No, but she asked me, what is it that you like about me? This is why we broke up. I had a really hard time finding things other than just the companionship, and that's about, and just being trans. That's about it. And it was more of my lust more than my love of somebody. And also, like I said, my relationship with my family wasn't really great. It still isn't. But I had to learn that you got to learn how to just be on your own. But mostly all of my relationships were built on sex. And that's not the way you want to go. You want to be with somebody that you have a bond with, you have a trust with. You're not going to be happy being around, being in a gay relationship, because most of the time, 90% of the time, the person you deal with may have some kind of trauma, may have some kind of past, like some kind of trauma they're dealing with, being molested or raped or neglected or whatever. They're in foster care. Two emotionally damaged people can't be in a relationship together, because they're going to just be leaning on each other, or she's going to lean on you, or you're going to lean on her. It's not going to work out. All I'm trying to say is this: don't make any decisions like declaring your sexuality for life, because it can change. And it's not really all about sleeping with every woman, but I do see a future in having a family one day. Like, that's the spirit talk. That's the spirit reaching me. Cause I'll be open with you guys. I didn't have, from ages 9, so from ages 14, I'll say either 13 going on 14 till about 21, when you're not like really a kid no more, where you just sort of learn on your own. From about 14 to 21, really, because me and my dad stopped talking. So I wasn't in his house around 19. But from my high school years until about 19, that's when I was really just, we didn't have like no relationship. We don't have one now. But I didn't have a father in my life. You know, I'm gonna take these glasses off now. It's getting dark. But I didn't have a dad from like 14. So really around like 12, when he took away my 12th birthday. See, I wasn't leaving his house. I was still living under him a little bit around like 12, 13. But 14, I really just went to my mother's. I didn't even really, I really stopped associating with him altogether. But honestly, let me get on this bus now. But yeah, around 14 to about 19, I didn't have a father, and I feel like, hold up, get on this bus. Yeah, I didn't have a dad. I had to really just, certain things I just had to find out on my own. But I feel that's really the problem right there. The lack of parents, the lack of fathers in these homes. Because from my parents split up, so from like 9 to about 11 to 12, it wasn't so bad. But 14 to about 19, we were just, we barely seen each other. And that's just how it was. That is the result right there of see, let me understand this. I always had same-sex thoughts and attractions in elementary school. But I feel like I gravitated towards those thoughts more when I didn't have a dad in my life. It's almost like you sort of look for what you don't have. If that makes any sense. Or another way too, here's a better explanation. It was also a form of rebellion. You know, what he didn't like, I wanted to become. I wanted to be the very opposite of what he let me do another part of this.